So your professor assigned a research paper, and now you need to find sources that explore your topic. Articles are a great way to find information on a subject. There are lots of places on the internet to find articles. Your first idea may be to do a simple Google search, or to search Google Scholar specifically. Those are great places to find articles, but because you're searching the entirety of the internet, it's harder to get narrower, more relevant results. That's where the library comes in. We have a huge selection of article databases in which you can find the perfect sources for your project. To find the best database for your topic, first you have to find the library's website. If you start out on the Western New England homepage, scroll all the way down, and click Libraries, this takes you to a screen where you can choose your library. Click to More Library. If you scroll down, you'll see that there are a couple of different sections. Click the Databases button under Research. Here, you'll find an A to Z list of all the databases the library has access to. If you know the name of the database you want to use, you can navigate to the letter it starts with and click right into it. If you're not sure about which database to use, but know that you want to start with databases recommended for a particular area of study, you can use the drop-down menu labeled All Subjects. For now, let's use the second database listed in alphabetical order, Academic Search Premier. This is a very general database that has access to articles from many areas of study. Let's say you want to write about recycling. There are 3 search boxes at the top of the page. Here's where searching a database becomes very different from searching Google. With Google, you could type a whole sentence into the search box and you would still get results, because that's the way Google is designed to work. It takes your sentence, picks out the keywords that will get results, and searches for them. With a database, you need to have already picked out those keywords for yourself. When you search a database, because you're picking out the aspects of the topic that seem interesting and relevant to you, you're automatically going to get more interesting and relevant results than if you had done a Google search. Also, because you're searching through the library, you'll have a much easier time of getting the articles themselves, whereas much of the time Google Scholar leads you to articles you don't have access to. So let's try a database search. Click into the first search box and type recycling. As you can see, you'll get almost 50,000 results. That's great because it means there's a lot of information on your topic, but not so great because you probably don't even have time to go through 500 articles, let alone 50,000. There are a few things you can do to narrow down your search results. Let's look at the topic itself. Recycling is very broad. The best way to narrow down your research is to narrow down the topic. Maybe you specifically want to research recycling on college campuses. Click in the second search box at the top of the page and type college. That drastically cut down on the number of results, going from 50,000 to just over 3,000. If you look at the search boxes again, you'll see that your 2 search terms are separated by a drop-down menu that says AND. AND is a search connector that enables you to take 2 seemingly unrelated topics and join them together in your database search, so that you get results that contain those 2 topics in context with each other, instead of just anywhere they might be mentioned. It's helpful to think of it like a Venn diagram, where one circle is the results you'd get from just searching recycling, and the other is the results you'd get from just searching college. The AND comes in where they meet and overlap in the middle. This is usually where you will find the results that are most relevant to your topic. If you want to narrow down your results even more, you can look over on the left side of the page, where you will see some options under Refine Results. First, you can limit the results to source type. Depending on the type of source you need, you can choose magazines, newspapers, and more. If you need a scholarly article, you can limit the results to academic journals in this section, or limit to scholarly peer-reviewed journals in the section above. Let's try just limiting to academic journals for now. Now we've got under 3,000 results. In that same area on the left, you'll see a slider labeled Publication Date. For many topics, you'll want to have the most recent research, so let's try sliding that so we only see what's available from the past 5 years or so. Almost 2,000 results is still way too many to go through by yourself, but they're going to be much more relevant to your topic. If you need to narrow even more, you can click the button with a plus symbol on it to add another search box. Sometimes you can narrow too much. When that happens, try playing around with your search terms and thinking of synonyms or related topics to search for, which can broaden your options. For instance, instead of searching for recycling, you could search for green or environmentally friendly. Instead of college, searching for university might work better. Instead of sophomores, you could broaden it to students. The more ways you search, the more sources you might find. For now, the efficacy of a theory-based participatory recycling intervention on a college campus is something that looks relevant to your topic. If you click the title, you'll see a record page for the article. This page contains all you need to know to cite this article in your paper. The abstract is a good place to look before you read the entire article because it's a summary that can help you figure out if you will actually find what you need before you read the whole thing. If you decide the article is relevant to your topic, you can look on the left side of the page and click PDF Full Text to see the whole thing as it was published. If you don't have time to read the whole article now, look on the right side of this page. Here you can print or email the article. You can also get a permalink, which is a link to the article that doesn't expire like the one in your URL bar would. The email tool is especially helpful because not only will the database email you the article, which includes the PDF full text if available, but you can also choose a citation format, and it will email a citation for the article along with everything else. While you do still need to check the citation to make sure the information is accurate, generating one in the database will really cut down on the work you need to do to make sure you've cited your sources correctly. If you look at some of the other databases we have on the library website, they may look different, but they all work the same way. Try some different searches on different databases and see how it works. So those are the basics on how to search a database. The library homepage has a link to all our databases by name or by subject. You should pick your search terms according to what seems interesting and relevant to you. And if you're not finding what you want, combine search terms with AND to get more relevant search results. Remember that you can also narrow down results according to source type, publication date, and whether the article is peer-reviewed or not. But you can also narrow down too much. The databases also contain all the info that you would need to cite the article: author, publication date, journal name, and more. Remember that you need to cite your sources to avoid plagiarism. And of course, if you ever have any questions, you can contact the library.